Everyone knows the cheetah for its speed, but few people know that this predator faces death in every hunt. Each chase for a cheetah means a battle against time, breath, and hunger. If you'd like to see the animal's battles for survival, come with me. The cheetah is the fastest land predator in the world, and its battle with prey in nature focus more on speed, precision, and timing than on strength or power. Unlike lions and leopards, it can't fight for long. If the hunt doesn't end within seconds, the risk of overheating forces is to retreat. Most of the cheetah's hunts happen in silence, ambush, and a sudden strike that ends with grabbing the throat and suffocating the prey. It usually chooses low-risk prey like gazelles, but in times of extreme hunger, it even goes after wildebeest calves or baboons. A cheetah's life is a series of fast and calculated battles, because the smallest mistake means the price of hunger or death. The first battle of the cheetah we're going to see is the battle with the Thompson's gazelle. The Thompson's gazelle is the most common prey of the cheetah in the Serengeti, and hunts usually combines speed with planning. The cheetah checks the wind direction, crawls through the grass, and reduces the distance to less than 100 meters before launching into its burst of speed. This type of hunt usually lasts less than half a minute and ends with suffocating the prey. In fact, before attacking, the cheetah stays still for exactly 20 to 30 seconds to lower its heart rate and increase its burst of speed. Also, during the attack, it holds its tail like a boat rotor or maintains balance and keeps its eyes locked on the prey's legs, not its head. At the end of the chase, with a sudden sideways leap, it strikes the gazelle's leg and brings it down. Alright, my friends, now that you have liked this video, let's move on to the cheetah's second battle, with the impala. Because of its alertness and sudden jumps, the impala is a tougher prey than the Thompson's gazelle. Here, the cheetah must rely on stealth and surprise, staying out of sight as much as possible. The hunt usually succeeds when the attack begins from a close distance and the prey's reaction time is short. Before attacking, the cheetah often uses a side drift to quietly shift its path, avoiding being directly in the impala's line of sight. After the chase begins, it suddenly cuts and resumes its speed to match the prey's turns. And when it's time to grab it, the cheetah doesn't jump directly on its body. Instead, it first slows it with a paw strike, then locks the neck from the side. And the third battle, the cheetah's fight with the Grant's gazelle. The Grant's gazelle is stronger and more resistant than the Thompson's and usually escapes by running long and straight. The cheetah only goes for this prey when it has a high food need, especially when it has cubs to feed. These chains are usually exhausting and the risk of overheating is high. Before attacking, the cheetah often moves a few meters downhill to gain extra acceleration. Unlike the Thompson chase, here it keeps its head slightly lower to stay in the air current longer. Many documentaries show that if the cheetah can't get within 200 meters of the gazelle, it gives up the chase to prevent overheating. Because even for a hungry stomach, it's not worth dying for a meal. Now, let's move on to the cheetah's battle with the hare. This hunt is simple and opportunistic, done for survival. When the cheetah is very hungry, has no energy for a big hunt, and no other animals are around, hares usually escape with quick direction change, but against the cheetah's explosive acceleration, they stand no chance. This hunt uses little energy and has no real risk for the cheetah. Here, the cheetah attacks suddenly, without long stalking or strategic pursuit. Unlike the gazelle hunt, its body stays very low and close to the ground to gain better acceleration. It usually uses a single stage paw strike, hitting the hare once while running and catching it instantly. The cheetah's battle with baby gazelle is the fifth hunt, and this one isn't really a fight, it's more like a search operation. Baby gazelles can defend themselves and try to hide motionless in the grass, but the cheetah's sharp eyes and hunting experience help it find them easily. This hunt is quick and silent, The cheetah keeps its head low and uses its ears to detect tiny rustlers in the bushes. Even if the body gazelle runs, it rarely gets 30 meters before being caught. After catching it, the cheetah scans the area to make sure no hens or lions are near, then eats the prey. So, my friends, what do you think so far? If you're ready to see the cheetah's life beyond the myth of his speed, come along with me. Next, we will enter battles that blur the line between hunter and prey. The sixth battle, the cheetah versus the wildebeest calf. This is one of the cheetah's riskiest hunts, consuming all his energy. And if it can't finish the hunt in a few minutes, it must give up to avoid risking its own life. Although wildebeest calves lack strong defenses, their mothers are extremely dangerous and will attack. That's why the cheetah only takes the risk when it needs a lot of meat. Before attacking, it waits for a calf to separate from the herd. It never attacks directly into the middle. Once the calf strays, the cheetah rushes in, grabs it by the neck or side, and quickly pulls it down before the mother can approach. And then it drags the prey into the tall grass to avoid being trampled. In other words, it prefers flight over fight to stay safe. The cheetah's seventh battle. With the helmeted guineafowl. This is a secondary hunt, mostly done when main prey is on a waybill. The guineafowl moves on the ground but has limited flying ability. The cheetah starts running from a relatively close distance since these birds flee quickly. It does not leap straight at them but quietly stalks closer until the distance is short, then jumps from the side to catch the bird before it escapes. After catching it, it quickly plucks the feathers and swallows the prey. This hunt barely makes one meal and is more like an appetizer. And the last battle, the cheetah versus the young baboon. This is the most dangerous hunt for a cheetah because baboons attack in the groups and have deadly teeth. It only attempts this when it's starving because the risk is high. The truth is, before attacking, the cheetah carefully studies the area since it doesn't want to be surrounded by the troop. It only targets a baboon that's alone or on the ground, making sure it won't be attacked. After catching it, instead of eating it right there like the gunfill, it immediately grabs the prey and runs away to avoid revenge from the group. Once it reaches a safe spot, it finally eats in peace. Alright, my friends, now it's your turn. Who do you think is the cheetah's toughest enemy in the wild? Do its stealth and its speed protect it, or is it always in danger? Write your opinion below, and if you want to see the next part of his adventure, subscribe to the channel so you won't miss it.